Vaheguru, 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 Vaheguru,
Vaheguru, Vaheguru Sahib Jiyo. हम मैले तुम उजल करते, हम निर्गुण तू दाता, हम मूर्ख तुम चतुर सियाने, तू सर्व कला का ज्ञाता। माधो हम ऐसे तू ऐसा, हम पापी तुम पाप खंडन, नीको ठाकुर देसा रहो। तुम सब साजे साज निवाजे, जियो पिंड दे प्राणा, निर्गुण यारे गुण नहीं कोई, तुम दान दे हो मेहरबाना। तुम करो भला हम भलो न जान है, तुम सदा सदा दयाला। तुम सुखदाई पुरख विदाते, तुम राखो अपने बाला। तुम निधान अटल सुल्तान, जी जंत सब जाचे, कहो नानक हम एह हवाला। राख संतन के पाछे, राख संतन के पाछे। सासंग रमल की फतेह जी। वाहिगुरु जी का खालसा, वाहिगुरु जी की फतेह। सो महाराज जी कृपा दे नाल पिछले हफ्ते असे आनंद साहिब दे 35 पौड़ी ते पहुंच गए सीगे। फिर 35th पौड़ी ऑफ आनंद साहिब ते महाराज in that पौड़ी asked us the question कि we should be asking ourselves कि ए शरीरा मेरिया, ask ourselves, oh my body, ए शरीरा मेरिया, इस जग में आए के क्या तुद कर्म कमाया? What have we actually achieved? We looked at the meaning of the word karam, that it can mean both actions and it can also mean earning the Guru's kirpa. Have we earned the Guru's kirpa? Sometimes we think we're here to do loads of good actions and then we're getting into counting. We talked about this before as well in the word karam. There's a famous shabad. Maharaj says, Lekha kate na chuti hai, khin khin poolanhar, बख्शनहार बख्श ले नानक पार उतार. When it says without counting lekha, if we sat at home and we did a mathematical calculation कि मैं इतना चंगा किता है, इतना माड़ा किता है, and at the end of it we said चलो I'll give myself a tick as for that day, वो नहीं होना. That's not how it's going to work. When I say lekha कतई न छूटी है. Never ever can we get free mukti with our own actions. Kin kin pulanhar. Every second we forget. है ना? ताई ये शब्द हम निर्गुण यारे, गुण नहीं कोई. Yeah? We've got no guns. So when we ask मारा की तुसी कृपा करो, हम मैले तुम उजल कर दे, हम निर्गुण तू दाता. To understand who he is, that he's a giver, that we go in front of him and do ardas, मारा कृपा करो. And as he looked in that show, at the end of that body, Maharaj says, Keh Nanak, eho sarir parvan hoa, jin satgur rasyon chitlaya. That only that body gets accepted who takes on the Guru and focuses upon the Guru, chit. So the sarir gets accepted because of the mind's actions. Sometimes we think the body and the sarir are separate, but this body is only here because of this mind. It's a vehicle, it's a kapda. Yesterday I was asked to come to someone's funeral. And the body that came up from there, Japji Sahib Maharaj says, Karmi ave kapda nadri mokh dwar. That this body is just a kapda. Kapda for the mind, kapda for the soul. It's clothes. And these clothes, like a mother loves a child, and the child loves its clothes sometimes. It's got its favorite outfit. You know, sometimes you have just cute onesies, etc. But when the child grows up and has ripped that kapda, has ripped those clothes, and now it can no longer use those kapde, the mother takes it away. Same way with this body, when we get to a certain time, this body is no longer good for us. or our time in this body is over, then we get taken out of that body and we get moved on. Whether the body itself fails and it starts to fall apart, or it's an accident. As I say, accident, but nothing's an accident really. But in some way it's taken away from us because Vaheguru decided they're going to take it away from us. But that doesn't mean that Vaheguru hates us. The thing to remember is, He still loves us like a mother, but we have to move on. So, as Guru Gobind Singh Ji in Jap Sahib says, Namo Sarab Kale, Namo Sarab Pale. That He kills everybody, but He also looks after everybody. Just to get that palekha of our head ki wo marda ya, to wo mada hi hoega. Nahi. Marda ya, wo usanu rakhda bhi hega. He looks after us, so therefore He is compassionate, but we have to accept the body is the kapda. In this way, Maharaj says that if the body wants to actually be approved in this world, then the mind must attach itself to the Guru. Keh Nanak, eho sarir parvan hoa, jin satgur syo chit laya. And what is that karam that we can earn ourselves? Maharaj says, Har kirat sad sangat hai, sir kan man ke karma, kaho nanak tis payo parapat, jis purab likhe ka lahna. Maharaj says, Har kirat sad sangat hai. To do praise Vaheguru in the sad sangat, Maharaj says, sir kan man ke karma. It's the highest action of all actions. So as we बैठे हैं साथ संगत विच, just imagine right now, for us to praise Vaheguru, of all the things we could do in this life, this is the ultimate thing we could do. And why? Because we earn the Guru's grace this way. Guru di kirpa bhi kamani pendi hai. Some people say, why does the Guru not just bless me? Why don't I just do nothing and I get blessed without doing anything? That doesn't make any sense. Guru Sahib has sent us here with a purpose. If we start to live up to His purpose, then Guru Sahib gets khush. Khushiyan prapat karni hai. And dekho, when they will tell you, Amrit Sanchar aa raha hai, what's the one thing they'll say? They'll say, Satsang ji, Amrit Sanchar aa raha hai, Amrit shako, Guru Sahib di kripa, Guru Sahib di khushiyan prapat karo. Yeah? Very common thing on the stage, isn't it? Earn the Guru's khushiyan, earn the Guru's happiness. Everything a Sikh should be doing is to earn the Guru's happiness. And that is the second meaning of the word karam, ki Maharaj kirpa kare, we make him happy. You and I know what we could do for our parents to make them happy. You know tomorrow morning when you go to work, you could do something for your boss to make him happy as well. Him or her happy. You could do something to cheer them up. For your parents, your kids, everybody knows what they can do to make the other person happy. What can we do to make our Guru happy? Har kirat sad sangat hai, sir karman kya karma. And then Maharaj says, Dekhu, just to make sure that we don't get any ahankar, ਜਿਹੜੇ ਸਾਧ ਸੰਗਤ ਵਿੱਚ ਬਹਿ ਕੇ ਕੀਰਤ ਕਰ ਰਹੇ ਨੇ, ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਇਹ ਵੀ ਪਤਾ ਲੱਗ ਜਾਵੇ ਕਿ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਦੀ ਆਪ ਦੀ ਮਿਹਨਤ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈਗੀ ਹੈ. Maharaj says then, ਕਹੋ ਨਾਨਕ ਤਿਸ ਪਇਓ ਪ੍ਰਾਪਤ ਜਿਸ ਪੁਰਬ ਲਿਖੇ ਕਾ ਲਹਿਣਾ. They say only that person gets blessed with this har kirat ਸਾਧ ਸੰਗਤ ਹੈ, who Vaheguru has already written it into their hukum, written into their karam. Because you don't want to be sitting here thinking, मैं तो बहुत बढ़िया हूँ, I'm the best, I'm sitting here doing kirtan, what a good guy person I am. You go outside, look at somebody else lying on the floor, think like Maraya. No. We have to remind ourselves that we are actually blessed to be sitting here in this Sat Sangat and listening to the words of Guru Amar Das Ji Maharaj. Before we start now with the next body, let's do a bit of Simran. मैं बोलूँगा, then Sangat, you should repeat back with me, है ना Satsang ji? Let it not be that I say it, then everybody just sits there quietly, ठीक है ना? So I'll say it, you say it back to me, we'll do it for a little while, then we'll carry on with the next body of Anand Sahib. Vaheguru, 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 Vaheguru. Vaheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji Ki Fateh. So in the 36th body, Guru Amar Das Ji Maharaj says to us, E Netrahu Meriho, Har tum mein jot tari, Har bin avar na dekho koi, Har bin avar na dekho koi, Nadri har nihalya. ਇਹੋ ਵੇ ਸੰਸਾਰ ਤੁਮ ਦੇਖਦੇ, ਇਹੋ ਹਰ ਕਾ ਰੂਪ ਹੈ, ਹਰ ਰੂਪ ਨਦਰੀ ਆਇਆ, ਗੁਰ ਪ੍ਰਸਾਦੀ ਬੁਝਿਆ, ਜਾ ਵੇਖਾ ਹਰ ਇੱਕ ਹੈ, ਹਰ ਬਿਨ ਅਵਰ ਨਾ ਕੋਈ, ਕਹਿ ਨਾਨਕ ਇਹ ਨੇਤਰ ਅੰਧ ਸੇ, ਸਤਿਗੁਰ ਮਿਲਿਐ ਦ੍ਰਿਬ ਦ੍ਰਿਸ਼ਟ ਹੋਈ। ਏ ਨੇਤਰਹੁ ਮੇਰਿਹੋ, ਹਰ ਤੁਮ ਹੈ ਜੋਤ ਧਰੀ, ਹਰ ਬਿਨ ਅਵਰ ਨਾ ਦੇਖੋ ਕੋਈ। Maharaj, now we're going to try to go through two bodies in this time. Maharaj starts speaking to the eyes, and the next body they will speak to the ears. You know, when we are born, we've got given this body. We know the body is separate from us because you can chop an arm off and we still live on. You know? Chop a leg off. So the body is separate to us, but it feels integral. The problem is it comes with no instruction manual. You know? Sometimes they say like the phone is like the third arm now. You know? We can't leave it behind. But the phone comes with instruction manuals. We know how to use that phone. We can ask someone else. But the body doesn't come with one. And so therefore, Vaheguru sends Bhagats into the world. Har Jug Jug Bhagat Upaya. Paj Rakhda Aya Ram Raje. Paj means the honor. The Bhagats of the world, the saints, the holy people, they come into this world and they help us to keep our respect. As a human being, we've got a certain respect that we can attain to. And Sukhmani Sahib, Maharaj looks at us and he goes, Kartoot Pasuki Manas Jat. He goes, the actions are of an animal, but he's got the Jat, the caste of a human. So there is a certain instruction manual that Vaheguru has sent, but it can't come down like a book, although it's come down as a Guru Granth Sahib Ji. It can't come down as an obvious book, like from heaven for each person, taped to their body, because then people will know that God exists. You know? If you are born with one attached to you, then sabne pata lag gaya ki ye Rabb hai. But the Rabb is alek, he can't be seen, adrisht hai. So in that reason, he doesn't show you that there's a book, but he tells you anyway how to live your life, because God, Akal Purakh Vaheguru, sent Guru Nanak, you know, to give us this instruction manual. And Guru Amar Das Ji now starts talking to our eyes and start talking to our ears. Ki how should we actually use our eyes and use our ears, because we may not have been told before. The Shabad by Guru Maharaj Arjan Dev Ji, they say, Gur mil chaj achar sikh tudrat kadi na lagge dukh. If we learn how to live chaj da achar, chaj means good, changa tarika, and achar doesn't mean what we use in our pronte. Achar means our way of living, our conduct. Gur mil chaj achar sikh. Learn that. So a Sikh is here to learn from the Guru how to live. And then Maharaj says, what's the benefit of doing this? Tud kade na lagge dukh. If you learn this way of living, you'll never be having any pain. So Maharaj says, oh my eyes, Netrahu Meriho. There's akkha, but this is an old Punjabi word. That's why sometimes just being able to speak Punjabi doesn't mean you can understand Gurmukhi. So Maharaj says, Netrahu Meriho. Oh my eyes, Har tum mein jot tari. The Vaheguru, Hari Akal Purakh Vaheguru, has put inside you a jot. Now the word Hari doesn't necessarily mean Hari Krishna, as the Hindus have it, but Hariya Parya, the one that makes us come to flourish. Previously, you look at a wood, a little tree, it could be dry now. When they what's going to happen to all the trees, all the leaves are falling off, they're going to look dead. When it comes to spring, then those come back to life. Basanta agi, they will become nice and green again. So Hari here is a Akal Purakh that can make us flourish. That's the quality of Akal Purakh Vaheguru. So Maharaj says that Har tum mein jot tari. Inside you, Vaheguru has placed a light in your eyes. Even if you look at somebody who's dead and somebody who's alive, look at the eyes, you will see there's a light missing. A certain light is gone. Somebody who's dead, the eyes are still there, but there's no light behind them. So there is this idea of a light. And people say the eyes are even the gateway to the soul. You can see a lot through what somebody's looking at. Akkha dasdi hagiyan. So Maharaj says, Har tum mein jot tari, har bin avar na dekho Koee. Here's the purpose now of the eyes. Don't see anybody but Vaheguru. That's what they were made for. They were made for this purpose. But obviously what we tend to do is see everything but God. Pura ulta karta. We can't see Vaheguru. People say to me, well, who's seen Vaheguru? And Maharaj say, Har bin avar na dekho Koee. But we see everything but Vaheguru. And Rab nahi disna. Well, I've said this many times from this stage anyway. But there's a famous var by Bulle Shah. And he says, Soho tere to vakhni, bin so duja kakhni, teri dekhne wali akhni. You haven't got the eyes to see him. He's not far from you. There's nothing but him. But actually you can't see him because you haven't got those eyes to see him. So Maharaj says, oh my eyes, obviously wake up. Wake up. Even my eyes could be sleeping. Even my eyes could be mistaken. They see the world, but it's actually a jute. In one of the Shabas in Guru Maharaj, they say, in the dark, when you're walking, and a little rope could be on the floor. Imagine you're walking in the dark path and there could be a rope on the floor, and it touches your foot. And you look down and you think, oh no, it's a snake. It's probably bitten me now. But it's not a snake. The light comes on, we can see it's just a rope. So there's this palekha about the world. Many philosophers, many people have talked about that we are actually blind. Hum andule and bikhe bikarate. Maharaj says, I'm full of poison and I'm totally absorbed, I'm blind. Hum andule and bikhe bikarate, kyo chale gur chali. How do I walk on the Guru's path? Because I'm blind. So, Maharaj says, don't see anything but Vaheguru. Har bin Avar na dekho Koee. If you look at our itihas, there are some stories that talk about this specifically. One, very famous Gursikh, Bhai Kanhaiya Ji. When Bhai Kanhaiya Ji was asked by the Sikhs, that she complained. You know, sometimes Guru Maharaj, they want to teach us a lesson, sabak sikhana chahte, they want to teach us something, but they don't do it just by putting it into words. They even get their Sikhs to teach that lesson to us. We're going to talk about where is the Guru. And here, Bhai Kanhaiya Ji is teaching us a lesson. The Sikhs complained about him. They said he's giving water to the Mughal soldiers, the enemy soldiers. And he shouldn't be doing that because we want them to die. When they get better, they're going to come back and fight us. So Bhai Kanhaiya Ji is brought in front of Guru Maharaj as a complaint. And they said, Kanhaiya Ji, why did you do it? People are complaining about, why did you do it? He says, Maharaj, everybody I look at, I just see you. Yeah? Har bin Avar dekho Koee. For us, our Guru is Vaheguru. He says, all I see is your face. And how can I have no daya inside me? Pehle panj pyare, Bhai Daya Singh Ji. Je sare ko daya nahi, te taul dharam daya ka poot. Je daya nahi, to the bacha kive aayega? Dharam Singh kive aayega, je daya na honda? So how can we have justice and righteousness without compassion? So here, Bhai Kanhaiya Ji shows us that actually Guru Maharaj then was so happy with Bhai Kanhaiya Ji. They said to him, Bhai Kanhaiya Ji, take some medicine as well. Don't just stop there with pani. Ilaj bhi karao another. Imagine how fearless is Guru Gobind Singh Ji. The rest of the world is always scared, huh? If I make this guy better, he's going to come back and fight me, and I might lose later on. But Guru Gobind Singh Ji is so fearless, he will do the right thing regardless. That is pure nirpo. Fix this person, let him come back and fight me. Maharaj is not scared. Maharaj said, "Ithi bhi daya di lod hai." Our Guru was like that. So compassionate, but totally fearless. Because they depended only on Vaheguru. They didn't depend upon the world. They said, only Vaheguru can make me win. Pai jeet meri, kirpa kaal keri. Say, if I win, it's only by God's kirpa. It's not going to happen with me not letting this person live. It's nahi ho sakda. Sometimes we depend on other things, we don't depend on our Guru. And Bhai Kanhaiya Ji, although he was many years ago, in Guru Gobind Singh Ji's time, over 300 years ago, but even in just last century, we've seen Bhai Kanhaiya Ji, Bhagat Puran Singh Ji, set at Pingalwada. Their video is going to come out soon, a movie about their life. Beautiful, we should watch that. Just like we all watch Char Sahibzade, if you haven't, you should go and watch it. In the same way, we should watch about Bhagat Puran Singh as well. But Sangaji, those people haven't gone yet. Look at what's happening in Doncaster, Good Honest Free Kitchen. 180 homeless people being fed. What's happening in Birmingham with Guru Nanak's, with the Midland Langar Seva? They're giving langar every evening to 180 homeless people. Here in Southall, SWAT are doing it. In Ilford, the Gurdwara takes a gym in the winter and they make the gym into a homeless shelter. Guru Nanak's mission ki Netrahu atar panhe khudai Gareeb Niwaj din rain te aaye. Guru Gareeb Niwaj. The word Gareeb Niwaj means the person who looks after the poor. And Guru Nanak Dev Ji Maharaj, when he's asked, what do you think then? Who should we compete with, the rich or the poor? Maharaj says, he talks about himself, Maharaj, Nicha andar neech jaat, Nichi hu, at neech, Nanak tinke sang saath, vadya so kyaris. Maharaj says, I'm the lowest of the low, even the lowest of the low, the people that are even lower than the lowest, he goes, I'm with them. Why should I compete with the highest? When we think about ourselves, and we look at the people that are Mahapurukhs, and we think, Guru must be with them only, and then we think, let's look at even in the Gurdwaras, even in our society nowadays, we run after people with money. I once say where I was at a Gurdwara, and a very rich Sikh walked in. He was known amongst people as being a very rich person, and the atmosphere changed. The whole atmosphere changed in Darbar because these rich guys come in, and everybody was like that. And I thought to myself, Nicha andar neech jaat, nichi hu at neech, nanak tinke sang saath, vadiya syo kya rees. What is there the competition with the rich people? Why should we try and compete with the rich people? Maharaj said, let's compete with the lowest of the low. Let's help them. And a society can be judged by how well it looks after the lowest of the low, not the highest of the high. So this is our society. Je Khasa Raj hovega, in the Khasa Raj, our concern should be the lowest of the low, not the highest of the high. Chalo, Khasa Raj will come one day, but we should remind ourselves of the principles. It's not going to come unless we please our Guru. If we start doing that work now, then Maharaj will bless us because you got the right mat. So, this is still here, but on the other side you can see Bhai Joga Singh. Bhai Joga Singh, he's walking to see his Guru. He's going to see his Guru and he stops. He says, wedding night, he's left his wife, but now he sees a very beautiful woman of the night, a prostitute, and he gets attracted. Mohini, E Maya Mohini, Jin Et Param Pulaya. On the one side, we serve everybody, seeing them as God's roop, but on the other side, we've got to keep ourselves to understand that the thing that we get attracted to, even that, if it's not seeing it in Guru's vision, then that's poison for us as well. The Maharaj says, this shabad, eh vis sansar tum dekh de. Vis means poison. It is poison unless we know how to look at it in the right way. So Maharaj says that har bin avar dekho Koee, har bin avar dekho nadri har nihalya. This Rabda Roop, to see everything as Vaheguru, we can start to implement it in our personal life as well. Whether it's from Seva, that's a very good way of doing it. But even in our families, we can start to implement this. If a husband was to see his wife as a form of the Guru's gift to him, a daughter of the Guru has been given to him, and his job is to nurture her, support her, protect her, in the same way that Guru Gobind Singh would expect his son to. If Bhai Ajit Singh had gotten married, Guru Gobind Singh Ji would have expected him to look after his daughter in the same way. And had it been the other end, if Guru Gobind Singh had a daughter, like we know the other Gurus had a daughter, what advice would they be giving their daughters as well? Guru Amar Das Ji had two daughters, and one of them was married to Bhai Jetha Ji, who became Guru Ram Das Ji. And what kind of Ucha Jivan did they give to their daughter? What kind of example did they set? So the daughter understood how to do seva. We have one example in Guru Granth Sahib Ji of the wife of the Guru, Mata Kiwi Ji, and how she was like. Yesterday I was to Katha, Papai Gurjeet Singh of Seek to Inspire, great Katha Wachik in Havelock Road, and he was talking about ki Mata Kiwi Nek Jan, Jin Baute Shao Patrali. That Chao, that Mata Kiwi Ji was so amazing, there's so much seva, that she was like giving away a shade to the Sangat. She was such a nice person, Nek Jan, and then for many, many people came to her, it was like, you're in the heat in India when it's boiling hot, you're looking for some kind of shelter, and she was that charm of a tree. And you could go under her, you could go near her, and she would give you that sitalta, that coolness of shade. In the Kaljug, the heat of Kaljug, Maharaj says, Kal Tati Thanda Harna. She had that naam inside her, and in this fire of Kaljug, she would cool many people's hearts. So Guru Maharaj is trying to tell us these guns as well, that we can see our wife and our husband, treat them in the right way, and that is doing Guru Sahib's hukum ki har bin avar dekho Koee. Even our children, if we can see them as a gift of the Guru, to bring them up with Gurmat, to bring them up with the right sanskars, this is what Guru Sahib expects of us. Because otherwise, he will say, "Tusi vyai na karo. Gristi Jeevan aao na, go live in the mountains, don't do Gristi Jeevan, don't get married, live in the mountains, do Naam Japna." But he put us into society, So there's a hukum of how we must live, and if we don't know how to live that way, that's because we haven't studied Guru's history or studied Gurbani. We're trying to work out our life without an instruction manual. And in fact, many people now are working on how to bring Gurmat into things like counseling, bring Gurmat into things like drugs, rehabilitation. Because Guru Sahib has given many, many teachings, but we haven't taken those and put them into work in the real life. And so many Sikhs come to Gurdwara, matha take, we were talking about this, sit down, have some prasad, but they haven't learned the ultimate wisdom of the Guru. Because we're not taking that from there and applying it in our life. It's become like a document to us. It's not becoming a living thing for us. So Guru Maharaj always trying to tell us that actually Guru is everywhere. His teachings apply at all places. Even if you go beyond our family, we can see Vaheguru in Mahapurukhs. Some people say don't do that. Some people now, they started saying ki only Guru Granth Sahib Ji. There's no Mahapurukhs. That sounds a bit strange. But if you look at Bani, Guru Maharaj always saying, Ho Qurbane Jao Mehrwana, Ho Qurbane Jao, Ho Qurbane Jao Tanake, Lan Jo Tera Nao, Lan Jo Tera Nao Tanake, Ho Sad Qurbane Jao. I must sacrifice to that person who says your name. And sometimes the Sikhs get a bit confused about this. They start thinking, well, I should only listen to Guru Granth Sahib Ji. I shouldn't even go into Satkar of any Mahapurukh and ask their advice. But we should. Because Guru Maharaj gives a shabad and they go, Gur Sikha Andar Satguru Varte. They say Gur Sikha Andar, in the Gur Sikhs, Satguru Varte. The Guru operates, his power is in the Gur Sikhs. This is why the Khalsa Panth is so important. We can't just accept the Guru Granth Sahib Ji as our Guru. Guru Gobind Singh Ji is given a hukum, ki Khalsa mera Satguru pura. If Guru Gobind Singh Ji is saying the Khalsa is Satguru, then how can we now turn around and say that I don't accept the Guru Khalsa, I only accept the Guru Granth Sahib Ji? How can we do the Tal, the bachan of our Guru? We can't do that. We have to man the Guru, not tell him he's right, he's wrong. Accept him. So, Gur Sikha Andar, in the Gur Sikhs, Satguru Varta. And what does Maharaj say next? Guru Ramdas Ji, they say, Jo Sikhanu Loche, so Gur Khushi Aave. That person who looks for Gur Sikhs, that person says, Maharaj Kirpa Karo, bless me with the tool of your Sath Sangat. Bless me with people that follow you. Jo Sikhanu Loche, so Guru Khushi Aave. Guru Sahib says, I'm happy with that person who looks to hang out with Sikhs. Yeah? Some people in our community, they say, I don't even go to Gurdwara. I don't look for Sangat. Well, Guru Maharaj is telling us something. To look for Sikhs. They say, look for Sath Sangat. If you don't find it in your Gurdwara at 12 o'clock, because it's a bit busy and kids running around, then find it at the right time. Whether you find it at 4 a.m. here, to do Simran, whether you find it on the internet, whether you go on and listen to Katha from somebody, but Maharaj says, Jo Sikhanu Loche. We have to look for the Sikhs, listen to their bachans. And in fact, to take this further, in Rag Manj, Guru Arjan Dev Ji Maharaj, Guru Ramdas Ji Maharaj was talking about where is Vaheguru, and they say, Ho mantan khoji pal palai, kyo pyara pritam mile meri mai. Say, I've looked inside my mind and my body, how will I meet my beloved Lord? Ho mantan khoji pal palai, kyo pyara pritam mile meri mai. Mil sat sangat khoj dasai, which sangat har prabh vassai jiyo. They say, I went to the sangat and I realized the truth. The truth is, which sangat har prabh vassai jiyo. The Vaheguru is in the sangat. And in fact, take that line, turn it around. In the Sath Sangat, Vaheguru can come inside us as well. Which sangat har prabh vassai jiyo. We want to find him inside us. But we've got to go to the well of it. You know, you want to get pani, you have to go to the well. Once you got the pani inside you can drink from inside all the time. But to get that thing started, we must find Sath Sangat. So, Maharaj is telling us so many times, they say, Har bin Avar na Dekhu Koee, Nadri Har Nihalya. They say, don't see anybody apart from Vaheguru. And then say, Nadri Har Nihalya. What does Nadri here mean? Nadri means the Vaheguru who can do Kirpa. Jeda Vaheguru nadar kar sakda na, nadri karan wala. Nadri har nihalya. It's these three words, very deep message. Nihal means to see something as well. Dekhe nihal hona means wow. But nadri har nihalya. Nihal means to be exalted, to get so much pleasure. Maharaj says, the only person who does kirpa is a Akal Purukh Vaheguru. Nadri har nihalya. If you go meet a Mahapurukh, if you go meet Sath Sangat, and you get kirpa, that's Vaheguru kirpa upon you. Don't start thinking that person did kirpa to you. That person has got no power apart from the power given to them by Vaheguru. So Nadri har nihalya. Don't see anybody but Vaheguru. So on the one side we go and look for Sikhs, we look for Sat Sangat, we look for Mahapurukhs, but when we find them, we say Tan Guru Nanak Dev Ji Maharaj, Todi Kirpa Hogi. We don't start thinking Edi Kirpa Hogi because that person also blessed by Guru Nanak Dev Ji Maharaj. It's a hard thing to have in our head because sometimes we'll get attached to the person. We'll start thinking, oh, Katha badi soni si, that person is good. No. The Katha, if it's done properly, Guru Maharaj aap kirpa kar dene. The person is like a parrot. Whoever's sitting here on this stage in Katha, and they bless you with some kind of knowledge of Sikhi, that's Guru Sahib's kirpa upon us. It's not anybody else's kirpa. So Nadri har nihalya. Always when we get nihal, when we get that nihal, always remember Nadri har nihalya. Vaheguru is the one that does kirpa upon us. Because Dadda Data ek hai, sabko devanhar. De de, tot na aave. Angarat pare panda. But then jista ditta khavana, tis kahi aisa bas. If you're eating his kirpa, then make sure you say thank you to Vaheguru. Don't start thanking other people. Focus upon the one who gave it to us. That's why Guru Nanak Dev Ji Maharaj tells us ki sabna jiyan ka ek data, so main visar na jaye. Let me not forget the one who actually gave me everything. Start thinking it's somebody else, we'll get caught in a play as well. Har bin avar dekho koi, har bin avar dekho koi nadri, har nihalya, eho vis sansar tum dekh de, e har ka roop hai, har roop nadri aaya. Maharaj says, eho vis sansar, this poisonous world, vis means poison, sansar means the world. Eh vis sansar, this world you see, eho vis sansar is poison, tum dekh de, eho har ka roop hai. Actually, it's Vaheguru's own form. So what does this mean for us? Don't abandon the world. Although it looks poisonous, don't abandon it and run away to the mountains. Run away to your pora. We have to live in the world. Sometimes we get some pain in our life. That pain we think, chalo, I can't cope with this pain, and we run away from the world. No. The pain is there, the world is poisonous. But actually, it's also Vaheguru's own form. It's there to be used in the right way. Yes, if we're bitten once, we are twice shy. That's true. But in the same way, we have to go back into that because otherwise we're rejecting Qudrat itself, the way of the world. We're rejecting that part. So we have to live in the world but be above it. Eho vis sansar tum dekh de, eho har ka roop hai, har roop nadri aaya. Now this second nadri here, har roop nadri aaya, it means by Vaheguru's grace. By Vaheguru's grace, we start to see him now in the world. But if he has kirpa upon us, then our eyes become so purified, then we start to see him everywhere. So I was saying this is not some kind of airy-fairy thing. People can see Vaheguru all the time. They can see him literally in the same eyes that these eyes, they can become spiritual eyes. But Guru Sahib's kirpa, these eyes can now start to see Vaheguru. Maharaj says, Tahi Maharaj in the next pankti they say that, E har ka roop hai roop nadri aaya, gur prasadi bujya, ja vekha har ek hai, arbin avar na koi. They say by the Guru's grace, gur prasadi bujya. I understood this. Now bujna is not just intellectual, it's spiritual bujna as well. Because you can't understand some things until you experience them. It's impossible. So gur prasadi bujya, ja vekha har ek hai. Why ek? Because then you understand that he is the one giving to everybody. You don't start getting stuck with other people. You stick only to the one. Although he's inside everybody. He does his kirpa, but he's so amazing, he does his kirpa through people. He doesn't let himself be seen until he lets you see him. And then you can see him everywhere. It's a funny old game he does, huh? Maharaj said, Nanak har gun gaye, alakh prabh lakhiye. I was at Avar today, and we know that Avar, they always do that Shabad. Kita lodiye kam so har pe akhiye, karj de savar satgur sach sakhiye, santa sang nidan amrit chakhiye, pe panjan meherwan das ki rakhiye, nanak har gun gaye, alakh prabh lakhiye. Maharaj says, Nanak, by singing Vaheguru's praises, har gun gaye, alakh prabh lakhiye. That Vaheguru's alakh can't be seen, you will see him. alakh prabh lakhe. That's Guru Sahib's kirpa. By singing Simran, by singing Kirtan in Satsangat, we can get the highest kirpa. Gur Prasadi Bujya, Ja Vekha Har Ik Hai, Har Bin Avar Na Koi. We see that He's the only one, and He's also only one. There's no more of Him. Many people pretend to be God, but there's only one. So Maharaj says then, Keh Nanak eh netra and se Satgur miliya deb drishta hoi. They say, Maharaj says, the Guru Amar Das Ji Maharaj, as Guru Nanak Dev Ji's own form upon earth, they say, eh netra, my eyes, and se, before they were blind, and se Satgur miliya deb drishta hoi. They met the Guru. What does that mean? To meet the Guru is not just to come here and matha take. To meet the Guru is to actually fall in front of the Guru and accept the Guru as your king. It's not enough to say, I met the Guru. Actually, to experience Guru is to meet Guru. Satguru miliya dib drisht hui. Dib drishti, this word, can mean many things. It just, in effect, it means that you start to see what is there, but you couldn't see before. You know, like they say that the human eyes only have a very small range of ultraviolet, whatever light we can see. It's very small compared to what actual information is there. So animals can see more than us, you know? But actually, even the physical world is only a small percentage of what is really there. There's the whole alagab, the world that cannot be seen, ghosts, other things. These are, and then beyond them, Devi Devte, and beyond them, Akal Purak themselves, because He is Gabul Agab. Even the world that is invisible, even that invisible world can't see the invisible upon Him, invisible Vaheguru. Yeah? But Guru Sahib's Kirpa, our eyes, if they're blessed by Guru, we can go from being blind. Although we're walking around Satsangaji, we all think we can see. Guru Maharaj Anusar, ਅਸੀਂ ਸਾਰੇ ਅੰਨ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈਗੇ ਜੇ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਇਹ ਕਿਰਪਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੋਈ, we are actually blind. Maharaj says, ਕਹਿ ਨਾਨਕ ਇਹ ਨੇਤਰ ਅੰਧ ਸੇ ਸਤਗੁਰ ਮਿਲਿਆ ਦ੍ਰਿਬ ਦ੍ਰਿਸ਼ਟ ਹੋਈ. So that Shabad that Maharaj says कि हम अंधले अंध बिखे बिखराते क्यों चाले है गुर चाली सतगुर दया करे सुखदाता हम लावन आपन पाली. Guru Sahib bless us and he gives us his robe. You know in the biyah they give you this palla, the bride will get the palla of the groom and she will hold that. Well, the real marriage of the Sikh is with the Guru. And if we get blessed, Amrit is that palla. Amrit is that we started to hold the Guru's palla. That's the first love. That's all it is. Don't think Amrit is the end game. Amrit is you just got hold of the first love and you started going around. There's plenty more to do yet. And that is Satguru Palit. And Maharaj says, Guru Sikh meet chalo Gur Chali. Jo Gur kahe soi pal mano har har katha nirali. They say walk around the Guru. Chalo, walk on the Guru's path. Follow him. And then this way you will get to meet Vaheguru. But the only way to do is whatever Guru Sahib says, do that. There's no other playing around. Har bin Avar Dekhu Koee. So the next body Maharaj then goes through about the ears. They say, E Sravanhu Meriho, Saachai sunne no Patthaae, Saachai sunne no Patthaae, Sarir lae, Sunho Sat Bani, Jit suni mantan harya hoa, Rasna ras samani, Sach alakh vidani, Taki gat kahi na jaye, Keh nanak amrit naam sunho, Pavitr ho vaho, Saachai sunne no Patthaae. Maharaj says, E Sravanhu Meriho. Sravana is. If we don't know that word, we should learn it because it comes like Bani all the time. So Netra and Sravan. They're not Karna. The problem is that we speak Punjabi. We don't speak Gurmukhi. So this is how we should learn Gurmukhi. E Sravanhu Meriho. Oh my ears, Saachai sunne no Patthaae. We know the word Patthaae because we know that Suni Pukar Datar Prabh Guru Nanak Jagamai Patthaae. He sent them to you. He sent these ears to us. And what did he send them? Saachai Suneno. Saachai, Akal Purak. Here the word Saachai refers to Vaheguru. Saachai Suneno Patthaae. He sent you, Akal Purak, the true Vaheguru, has sent us to hear the Naam. He sent to listen to him. What is he? He is Naam. Ape apna naam hai. So he says, join with him by listening to him. Saachai sune no Patthaae. Saachai sune no Patthaae, Sarir lae sunoho satbani. O my ears, you were sent upon this earth to listen to true Vaheguru, to his Naam, and he attached you to your body. The body before didn't even have ears. If you look at the body inside the mother's womb, it goes through progressions. And at one point actually gets the ears as well. You know? Ears aren't guaranteed either. Even some people are born deaf. So if we've got ears, what should we use them for? Mara says here, Sarir lai suno satbani. We've come here to listen to the true Bani. Now Bani is Gurbani, of course. Guru's Bani is Bani, Satbani, is true. But also, actually just to remind you a pankti there, Sadguru ki Bani Sat kar jano gur sikho. So Guru's Bani is Sat upon Sat. So therefore this Sat Bani means Guru's Bani, but also Bani means speech. Whatever comes out your mouth, that's your Bani. It could be Mari Bani, it could be Chutti Bani. Mara says listen to Sat Bani, listen to the words of truth, the eternal truth, what is real. Listen to people that are talking about Sat, don't listen to things that are not true. In fact, if you look at Sukhmani Sahib, Mara says Sabte Uttam Har ki Katha, Naam Sunat Dard Dukh Latha. Even Katha, talking about Naam, is Naam. When we're sitting there saying Vaheguru, Vaheguru, we can also get the same Naam listening to Rasmai Bani, Rasmai Katha, Rasmai Kirtan. All these things work because they're all Naam. So, that's why Maharaj says, Sarang Mahalla Panjwa, Ayo Sunan Padan Ko Bani, Naam Visar Laghe Analalach, Birtha Janam Parani. They say, Sikha, you've come to listen to Bani. Ayo, come in the earth. Ayo Sunan Padan Ko Bani. Pehla suno. Then when you get excited by the Sunana, you start reading it yourself. You know, sometimes we tell people to read Bani, they don't get it yet. So we should make them understand it first. Sunlite ek wari, they understand it, then they want to read it every day. Ayo Sunan Padan Ko Bani. What? Bani, and then Naam. If we don't read Bani now, what happens to us? Naam Visar Lage hai Analalaj Birtha Janam Parani. If you read this Shabad in its entirety, Maharaj talks about a lot, much further than about Guru Granth Sahib Ji and about Bani. But really, what we should be doing with our ears is listening to Bani. And if we're not listening to Bani, i.e. Kirtan, Simran, Katha, then we should be thinking about Vaheguru. And when we're talking to someone, then we should be talking truth, not just Gappa or Chut. So, when Sanjana Singh Ji took over the Jahedari of Dandami Taksal, people are like a bit surprised, they were quite young and they became Jahedar. And they were sitting there and they said that, got to make an acceptance speech, of the honor. And they said, Guru Granth Sahib with sab kuch hai, sirf ek cheez nahi hai. Nahi hai ek cheez. And everybody was like, whoa. Did he just say, there's one thing not in Guru Granth Sahib Ji? And they said, sirf jhoot nahi hai. The one thing Guru Granth Sahib is not there is lies. Everything is truth. So in the same way, we could be so blessed that when we speak the truth. And when we listen to people and they're telling lies, we say to them, stop with the lies, tell me the truth. Yeah? I don't want to be told the falsity. News nowadays, it's all just lies. So in many ways, when we sit there watching the news and we haven't critically examined what's going on, but we're not here to listen to the truth then. This Russell Brand, whatever, he's making this videos called The Truths. Because the news is not true, so he's made the truths the true news. But it's our purpose upon earth to listen to the truth. And if we're being sold lies by people, like Maharaj, sometimes they're very harsh. We think, oh, Maharaj wouldn't hate atheists. Some people say, now, there was a guy, he was getting married to a Appani, and he wanted to go to the Lama. And he said, I'm an atheist. And I said, what? I know you're going to get away with it because you're going to go to a Gurdwara that will do it in a weekday. They're not going to do the weekend or a weekday, kar lenge. But just remember one thing, Guru Granth Sahib Ji is not polite about atheists. There's no bone. Maharaj just speaks the truth. Sach ki bani, Nanak aakhe, Sach sunai si, Sach ki bela. The time of truth is here. Maharaj said, I will speak the truth. They're not afraid of anything. If Guru Gobind Singh Maharaj is Nirpau, Guru Nanak Dev Ji Maharaj is also Nirpau. They speak the truth. In front of Baba, they call him Jabbar. And Maharaj in Bani, they speak. Guru Granth Sahib Ji says that if somebody didn't even jap naam, why was their mother not infertile? Why did she have to have children in the first place? Yeah? Imagine that. That's a very harsh thing to say, isn't it? Sheikh Fariji says, Visriya jin naam te bhuye parthiye. If somebody who forgot Vaheguru, they're like a burden upon the earth. In the army, we used to call these people, oxygen thief or waste of oxygen. That's what he's saying. Somebody who doesn't jap naam is a waste of oxygen. Should have saved it and given it to somebody else. Now, is Bani ever saying anything about atheists being okay? No. It's not acceptable to Maharaj. Maharaj even says ki Vedina ki dosti, Vedina ka khan. They criticize it. They go, you're hanging out with people that have got no deen. Deen here means religion. They've got no religion. Satsangaji, I was talking on this week. One thing we got to understand. There's two Hindus. In our history, there's the story of two Hindus having a conversation. One Hindu was a sannyasi, and the other Hindu used to go every year to Tirth, twice a year. And what happens at one point is, these two people get together, they're having a meal. And the sannyasi, he likes the other Hindu. They're both Hindus. And he says to him, who's your guru? And that Hindu says, I have no guru. And the sannyasi says, oh no. I'm eating food for somebody who's not a Hindu. Now I've got to go, I'm not a guru, Niguriya. I have to now go back to my place and wash again. There's two Hindus, one is criticizing the person, I can't even eat food with because you are a Niguriya. Who is that person? Baba Amruji. Baba Amruji then goes looking for a guru. And through the daughter of Guru Angad Dev Ji, he hears about the Mehma of Guru Nanak Dev Ji Maharaj. He goes to meet Guru Angad Dev Ji. Although Guru Angad Dev Ji is related to him because he is senior, Guru Amar Das Ji is senior because the daughter of Guru Angad Dev Ji is brought into his family. But then Guru Amar Das Ji falls at the feet of Guru Angad Dev Ji and they become his servant. So that's two Hindus, one criticizes the other Hindu because one is Niguriya. So if we ever got a guru, doesn't mean anything. You could be born in India and not have a guru. Many people are like that now. So for us to understand is ki Vedina ki dosti, Vedina ka khan. What it means to have a guru, we must understand that for us we must have a guru, and we should hang out with people that are religious. They should have some kind of religious bone in them. Otherwise, what's the point? They don't even believe in the thing that you think your life is around. We're going around Guru Granth Sahib Ji says, my life follows around you, Maharaj. Maharaj has never said to people that are Brahmins that you shouldn't be a Brahmin. They said, what kind of Brahmin should you be? They never said to a sannyasi, what kind of sannyasi, well, you shouldn't be a sannyasi. They said, what kind of sannyasi should you be? But they criticize atheism very harshly because they speak the truth. Saachai sunne no Patthaae. We must hear the truth about our lives. Guru Amar Das Ji especially is very harsh. Guru Amar Das Ji, they're like an old grandfather. They just tell you how it is. Guru Amar Das Ji is very sweet, but Guru Amar Das Ji just tells you straight. Sometimes when you get Hukamnama, it says, Surat Mahalla Tija, you think, uh-oh. Maharaj is going to tell me what he thinks. Because they're very straight. They're telling like it is. So, Maharaj says, Suno Sat Bani. And what happens? What will happen to us if we start listening to Bani? Maharaj says, Jit Suni Mantan Harya Hoa Rasna Ras Samani. They go by listening to this Bani. Jit Suni Manatana Harya Hoa. Your mind and your body will be rejuvenated. That's what the word Har means. Har bin Avar Dekhu Koee. Listen to Vaheguru's Bani. Same way Maharaj says, Jit Suni Manatana Harya Hoa. You will flourish. Previously you thought your life has got no meaning. Previously you thought, I don't know what I'm living here for. Many people I meet nowadays, they're just running after money, even though they know money is not buying them any happiness. We have to explain our kids this. Very important. Don't make them think the world of Maya is going to bring them happiness, because you're telling them lies as well. And Guru Arjan Dev Ji is saying, Khoob khoob, khoob khoob, khoob tero naam. Then they say, Choot choot, choot choot, duni guma. This world is false, but Vaheguru's name is true. And it's beautiful. We're going to teach our kids that this is the truth. This money doesn't buy you happiness. So Guru Maharaj here tells us, Jit suni mantan harya ho. The only flourishing we will get is by listening to Naam. This is Naam we're talking about here. You know that I've met people who've been involved in Maya totally, and then they got blessed with the experience of Naam, just for a second. And then they left everything for it. Sab kuch harta. And their mates look at them and go, tu pagal ho gaya? You gone crazy. Yesterday you were drinking, you were doing all this, you know what they call it Punjabi, they go sharabi kababis. Yeah? Sab kuch khande, sab kuch peende ne. Maharaj said, that person gets one touch of the Guru, one touch of Naam, and they're prepared to leave everything. Doesn't that tell us something? Doesn't it tell us something? That this thing is more important? When the experience of this, Jit suni mantan harya ho. You know, sometimes we hear the stories, we've got 5 minutes left, I'm going to just go into a little bit of itihas. You know, we think about the stories of our shaheeds. We look at the Char Sahibzade, Pai Mani Singh Ji, Pai Taru Singh Ji. These amazing shaheeds are through andene. You think, wow, asi pair chatan jogi nahi hage. We think that, what are we to them? But one thing to remember, Sasangat Ji, when they did these things, when they stood there, facing an Ari coming down like this, Pai Maitas, Pai Saitas, Pai Diyala Ji, facing me chopped like this, and they're looking at the other option of being able to escape with their life, but they have to leave their Guru. That everyone was offered that. If you leave your Guru, leave your faith, you can have whatever you want, you can have life. But they chose not to leave their Guru. Now why is that? It's not the case that they were just brave. They were. It's not the case that they were just loyal. There was something else. That experienced what Guru was. They knew what Guru was. And they weren't prepared to leave Naam. You know, Pai Mani Singh Ji, when he was asked at that point, they said these words. You know even the price of Sikhi? Amul hai. They said, Har hiriya ki kothri, tan gandagi ka khan. They go, Vaheguru is hiriya di kothri. He's a palace made of jewels. They go, this body, tan gandagi ka khan. This body is a storage place of gand. Nothing good in this, he says. Har hiriya ki kothri, tan gandagi ka khan. Je tan ditya har mile, to bhi sasta jaan. They go, if I gave up my body, this gandhi body for the sake of Vaheguru, it's cheap. Got a good deal. To bhi sasta jaan. You got to do it twice. To understand this, that's what Maharaj says, Jit suni mantan harya hoa. Wherever we are in our life, if we haven't experienced Bani yet, then we must try. That's what this means. Because if you do not, Maharaj says you're like sukka. You're like a wood that's dry. Suke cast harya. That's what Guru Sahib does. He takes this dry wood and he makes it come alive. If we can't spend our life thinking, I know what life is about. If we haven't experienced Naam, we must try our best to experience Naam so that we can experience this harya hoa. Jit suni mantan harya hoa, rasna ras samani. Our tongue will be absorbed in this ras. Keda ras? Har ras. Rasna means tongue. Rasna, ras samani. Samani means to be absorbed. So our tongue then gets absorbed in this ras, the ras of saying Vaheguru's name, the ras of Naam, Naam ras. It's not something to be described to people, it's something to be experienced. The joy of saying Vaheguru's name. And it never stops. You could be doing Simran for half an hour, and you're in the beginning, you're at Anand, half an hour later you have an experience, and you're like, what was that all about? This is the real thing. If you carried on going, you say, this is the real thing. And it's Bayant. It's Bayant. There's no ending to it. Maharaj says, Parvadigar apar, agam Bayant tu. Sheikh Fariji says, oh Vaheguru, you look after everybody. Parvadigar apar, you are infinite. Agam, unknowable. Bayant tu, jina pachata sach, chumma pair muh. They said, those that know you, I would kiss their feet. If we see Pai Mani Singh, that's what I would like to do. But then, Pai Mani Singh, he would look at us and he would say, what are you giving up then? If we see our Guru as amazing, as so beautiful, what are we giving up? Because they gave up what they had to give up. Papa ki kar rahe hain. We should look at our own lives. When we look at the itihas, it's here to teach us the value of Vaheguru. It's not here to give us a guilt trip. It's here to teach us there is something bigger out there than what we know about. Our Guru is here to give us that gift. But what are we prepared to give up for it? Because this lena dena happens. You have to give up everything actually. Such ahi hega, you have to give up everything. Maharaj says, Jis suni mantan harya hova, you have been so much bliss. Rasna ras samani, will be living in this ras. Such alakh vidani, taki gat kahi na jaye. Maharaj says, Vaheguru is unseen, alakh hai. Vidani hai, is wondrous, amazing, taki gat kahi na jaye. We can't talk about how amazing he is. We can't even explain how amazing he is, but he is amazing. And then Maharaj says, Kya hai Nanak? Amrit naam suno. Pavittar hovo, Saachai sunino Patthaae. Now they tell us what will really happen to us when we listen to the truth, when we listen to Naam, listen to Bani, what will happen to us? We'll become purified. Kya hai Nanak? Amrit naam suno. Bani is Naam, Kirtan is Naam, Simran is Naam, Katha is Naam. Doing Seva is Naam. It's all actually a game of Naam. Don't get confused, it's all Naam. Only if you do it the right way. Take the ego out of it, it's all Naam. Experiencing Him, people experience Him doing Seva, they experience Him doing Simran. Naam is that experience of Vaheguru. It's not just simply saying Vaheguru, it's the experience of Vaheguru. Maharaj says, Amrit Naam Suno. Listen to the name of Vaheguru. Why is it Amrit? Amrit means the opposite of death. Everybody's going to die, but not the people that jap Naam. They'll leave their body and carry on going. They'll simply take their kapde off. Why will they not die again? Because they won't come back into reincarnation. Janam means maran. To be born is to mean you must die. Those that get free, they don't get to come back, so therefore they live on forever. They don't have a death again. This is the true death. And those that kill themselves in Bani, those that kill their ego using Bani, even while they're alive, they know they're not going to come back. Because a death, what does death mean to us? If you sit down one day and imagine your own death, and imagine what it means to leave everything that you think is important right now, your family, your friends, your job, whatever, we could do that right now by giving it up to the Guru. We could go through death right now. Pehla maran kabool, jeevan ki chhad aas, hoye sabna ke ranaka, to aao hamare paas. We come to our Guru and say, Maharaj, I'm prepared to die right now, give up everything that's important to me for you. Then we've actually achieved death, or we've conquered death while we're alive. When we win over that death, then the rest of our life will be blessed. Eh log sukhiye, par log suhile, nanak har prab, ape mele. We become pavittar, but listen Naam, and that means that our eyes and our ears actually achieve their purpose. They're not listening to Gandh, not looking at Gandh, they're looking at Bani, they're looking at Vaheguru and listening to Bani, listening to truth. कथा करते हुए अनेक प्रकार की गलतियों में माफ़ कर देना, पुल्ला चुकी दिखाए बख्शनी, गज गज के फतेह आखनी जी। वाहिगुरु जी का खालसा, वाहिगुरु जी की फतेह।
Vaheguru, 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 Vaheguru.